Hey everybody, I am Stacy, the owner and artist of New Creations by Stacy. I'm an elite Dixie Belle retailer here in Ardmore, Alabama at the Rustic Willow. Happy Monday everybody, hopefully it's a good Monday. Tonight we are going to have Dixie Belle live with us to help answer any questions. If I do happen to miss anything, I will go back at the end. Hey Wanda. I will go back at the end and answer any questions. And just right quick before we get started, in the description I have everything that we're going to be using tonight for the products. And then also I do have a link to my page if you like and follow me on Facebook. And you can of course see more of my work as well as I'll post final pictures of this piece. And I do actually have the prep for this piece live on my page, as well as painting it in the Morning Sunrise, the new silk color I'm so excited about. Oh, hey, Thelma. I was just messaging with Thelma before I jumped on. She's here as well. So anyway, I also have a link to join the Chalk Mineral Paint Enthusiast group. Tons of amazing artists, lots of inspiration on there. So definitely go and like and follow that. Please share this video as well if you get to the end, you know anybody who may need it. And then also I have my affiliate link, so you can find your local retailer or you can order through the affiliate link. I've got two rowdy dogs here and they are so playful right now. Hopefully they're going to lay down in a second. That's what's going on if you can hear them. Anyway, so we'll go ahead and get started tonight. Hey, Kimberly. Yeah, and you guys just say hey where you're watching from. If you have any questions, it doesn't have to pertain to this. It can be anything Dixie Belle. And I'll definitely answer those. And, oh, good morning from Australia. Yes, you guys are, what, 18 hours ahead, I think? Quite a bit ahead. All right, so tonight we're going to actually be working on this little cabinet. And we are going to be using the Buds and Branches transfer inspired by the Top Drawer RVA. I love this transfer. I actually prepped this piece a while ago. Oh, hey, Dixie Belle, I see them on now. Prepped this piece a while ago, and I was going to do something totally different with it, but use this transfer. And then when I saw the new silk colors, they announced them, I actually put it on hold just so I could wait for Morning Sunrise. So this is Morning Sunrise. It's this beautiful, dusty, very light purple color. I love it. Oh, hey, Mon. So love, love, love this new color. And then I've got this done in saltwater here. This is actually where you see the tape lining out here. This is all mirrored. So that's why I've got it taped off. And that's why we're using silver tonight as well. But I did clean this piece with White Lightning. This is MDF, and it's got kind of a laminate overlay. Oh, hey, Helen. It's got kind of a laminate overlay. So I also did 2 coats of Slick Stick, and you want to let that sit overnight, and then you can start painting. But you always want to use Slick Stick if you're going over like a mirror, plastic, like really, really slick metal. Anything like that. It's a bonding primer and it's going to help your paint adhere really well. So we'll go ahead and get started. We're going to go ahead and put on the transfer down here, but I'm probably going to do some other things. I just don't know what it is yet. And then we're going to work on doing these stripes and doing some pin stripes to outline the stripes in the Morning Sunrise. That's why I've got half of this done. All right, so let me show you guys first the whole transfer. This is so gorgeous. I love this. I've got one sheet cut up because we're going to be using this long section here. But look how beautiful these colors are, how vibrant they are. And they go perfect with this Morning Sunrise. And dusty, or is it Desert Rose? Desert Rose. I'm still getting the colors right, you guys. I don't know why that seems so hard for me, but, and this is one of the other pieces on that sheet. And then we have, the rest of them are all intact, but look how gorgeous they are. You've got some flowers that are outlined in black. And then the colors are just beautiful. You've also got some little butterflies and little beetles and bugs and stuff. Little green butterfly there. And then this is the last sheet. So there's 4 sheets in total. So look how pretty that is. And you've got some smaller sections. So those are great for small pieces like jewelry boxes, or you can layer them together to make a big design. So many different things you can do. So we're going to start off by, let me push this against the wall because I don't want it to roll. We're going to start off by working with a transfer, and I'm going to go ahead and bring you guys in so you have a really good view of what we've got going on here. All right, and actually let me slide you over just a bit. And I did go ahead, so what I've already done here with the transfer, let me find a sheet. Okay, perfect. So on the edge here, you've got a tiny, hopefully you can see it, you've got a tiny little halo, and then you've just got this, wider section that has nothing on it. I did go ahead and already cut off that section so that I can have the straight line. And we're going to run this, and so you can see it right next to that morning sunrise. You can see how well it goes there. I want to make sure my head's not in the way. Let me move you guys over just a little bit more and adjust it. Perfect. That way, hopefully, my head won't be in the way. But I don't want to put it all the way up here because I don't want this wide open, big white section showing through. I know, I love it. I love this transfer. Really, I love all the new transfers. They did such an amazing job. They listen. There's a lot of directional pieces, so it makes design a little bit easier. It's just, and the colors are amazing. Let's see. So I want to cut it off, I think about right here. I'll just have a very small section showing there. So I just want to kind of make my mark where I want to cut it. And I've got a little, I'm not going to cut the whole thing with an X-Acto knife. I'm terrible at cutting in a straight line. So I'm going to go ahead and score it so that I know where I want to start this cut. So you can cut this with scissors by all means. That's how I trimmed off this long edge. But I actually like to use my cutting board so that I can make sure that it's straight. So I'm going to pop you guys down and we're going to cut off this bottom section here so you can see what I'm doing. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and line it up to this side so that I know I get a straight cut. All right, and there we go. Make sure it's straight on this side because I want a 90-degree angle. And I probably won't lay it perfectly, but at least I want to cut it right. So there's a chance. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut out that straight line. And see, like this, I save all my little scraps because you can layer in something like this. Hey, actually, as a matter of fact, I think I'm going to get rid of that bottom. Pop you guys back up. I think I'm going to get rid of that bottom white spot. Yeah, actually, I think I am. So what I'm going to do, so this down here, your transfer comes in 2 sections, and peel it back here so you can see what I'm talking about if you haven't used them before. You've got the part that your design is on, and then you also have the part, and actually I think I'm going to have a broken section coming off here. That's okay because we're going to layer it then. I don't know what happened there, but it comes with the clear section, and then it also has this backing. So down here, this is actually going to be clear. So I would have that white paint showing through. I actually will probably just go ahead and layer in one of these pieces underneath of it. So that way, it'll just look like it's solid, another flower under there. And I am I've got a section here, and I bet I'm going to have two, where the transfer is stuck to the white backing. And I'll tell you, this is the first time that I've actually had this happen without me actually damaging it. So I'm still going to use it, but let me figure out where it's at, because I'm going to layer a flower under it so that way you won't notice. The other option, if something like this would happen to you, let's say you damaged your transfer, you could also paint it in. Let me see if I can get, oh, hey, that's what I'm doing. I'm pulling off from the other direction. I'm hoping that I can get it to release. So I'm going kind of slow. Yeah, I've got another section here too that's doing the same thing. So let's see. That leaf is going to go, but I can fix this. We're going to put it on anyway. Let me see if I can bring this off from the side. I want to be careful not to touch my transfer because that would damage it. And you know, I see these little bubbles in here, and I bet that's where my transfer has stuck to the back of this paper. So I want to tell you, if something like this would happen to you, so if I had sold this transfer and a customer came back with this, I would replace it out. If you're a retailer, I would definitely, you can contact Dixie Belle. So let's see. Sorry, you guys, I'm kind of trying to be careful. And I could grab another section and go off, but let's see, I'm trying to be really careful and not touch it so it doesn't stick to my fingers. But I don't want to damage it too much. Okay, so I've got a couple spots, but for the most part, that one down here is just, all right. So you can see, this is the first time that I have ever had this happen. So this is not normal. Like I said, you can contact Dixie Belle if something like this would occur, but we are going to go ahead. Things like that can occur too, like they could be weather related, if it's not stored properly or something like that. So let's see, I want to make sure, I want to see where that, actually you really can't tell. I think I'm going to layer a leaf in on top of that part and down here. So here's what I'm going to do. I don't want to touch, I'm actually going to lay this on its back because what I'm going to do is figure out where this falls. So you know what? This is great. We may not get to the pinstripe, but at least you can see if something like this happens, how you can resolve it or work around it. Yeah, exactly, that I can patch in. I'm hoping that it's going to be, I'm thinking it may not be high enough, but let's see here. In case this transfer's too sticky, let's see, it's pretty high up. I think what I'm actually going to do, let me kind of get an idea of where this is situated on here. All right, so let me see if I can make some kind of marker. That's actually right in this section right here. So let's do this. So it's right here. This isn't going to come up high enough, but I am going to go ahead and layer this in. Actually, let me see if, actually on that second one, I might layer something over it. Hold on, let me figure this out right quick. That one part is just a leaf, so I can fix that. Actually, you guys, I think I'm going to put this on first, and then I'm going to layer, whoa. Now, I almost messed that part up. I'm going to put this one on first, and I'm going to layer it right over it. So I'm a little I'm a little bit leery. Normally I can stick this on and then I'm able to kind of peel it off and reposition it. But I suspect this is going to be very sticky since it just stuck to that white clear backing. Or not clear backing, but that white backing. So I'm going to go ahead and try to position this correctly one time. So let's see. So I'm a little far down, I think, there. Just come up and over. All right. And I am hoping that this is going to stick. If not, we're going to go with another plan so we can see another fix. So what I'm doing is I've got it positioned. I'm just going to smooth this part down and I'm going to bring this over so you can see that I've got this leaf where the top came off of it, but my plan is to just find another leaf. Like I've got one that I just cut off here, and I'll kind of work that in so I can fix it that way. And then for this section down here, I think I'm just going to take another, actually, what I'll probably do is just layer right over that, maybe with this flower right here. That'd be really pretty. I kind of wanted one of those pinks in there, so that'd be perfect. All right, so I'm going to go ahead. I've kind of got this rubbed down, and let's see how it releases. And I just got to move this back so it's up against the wall so that while I'm rubbing, it will be situated. So, you know, all is not lost. I'm going to rub this down really good first, and then I'm going to start peeling it back, and I'll kind of show you how we're going to do that. And I'm going to start, when I'm rubbing down, I want to make sure I don't have any air bubbles or anything like that. So I am going to start going in one direction. I don't want to rub up here, then start at the bottom and come up to meet in the middle. So I started at the top. I want to continue rubbing on until I get to the bottom. So now, once I get to the bottom too, I'm very, very close to that purple paint. Some of my edges where I don't have the plastic to rub on. So to protect that, well, normally, I tell you what, I'm going to actually take, you can do it with the white, but you can't see very well. So I just want a piece of the plastic. And I'm going to set this on here and just start rubbing across. So if you guys are just joining, we're using the Buds and Branches Transfer by the Top Drawer RVA. And we had a little situation where a couple spots stuck to the white backing. So we're going to do a little fix on that once we get this done. So I'm going to go ahead. So like right now, I can't get that plastic peeled up. You can either use a piece of like painter's tape and pull it off with that, or I usually just use something like this and stick it under there so I can get a hold of it. So as I'm pulling back, I'm going to go ahead and rub the section that I'm pulling back. This transfer is sticking really well. Got a little overlap on the cabinet door, so I'll fix that too. Yeah, this is a very, very easy releasing transfer. And I suspect that's why it stuck to that white backing. And I'm assuming it's been really cold here, and Dixie Belle tries to be really good about shipping to us and watching the weather, not shipping when it's freezing or anything like that. But I suspect this one probably just, I suspect this is probably weather related. Just because it's really hard, you know, as far as shipping, like with FedEx, you know, it goes all over, doesn't come directly to you. So it could have been in freezing temperatures there. So I'm just, hopefully you can see here, I'm just rubbing in the exact spot that I'm peeling back on. I mean, and I could have elected to go with another section of this transfer. I kind of could tell, and we'll come back and look at the other sections. I could kind of tell the places it was going to stick once I saw that happen. Let's see. I just want to pull up a little section here so I can get a hold. That cotton is really close to the edge. So I'm going to put my little plastic piece over so I can rub that down. And then we'll go ahead and pull it back. Let's see here. And hopefully you guys can still see I'm not in the way. You just want to make sure that it's adhering really well. You want to try to avoid any air bubbles. But if we do happen to get those, I'll go over kind of how to fix those as well. But it is releasing nicely. And you're just, what I'm doing is, I'm going to bring you guys in even a little bit more. There we go. So when I'm pulling back, you can see, let's start back up here. You can see where this section is darker. It's still stuck to this plastic backing. As I'm pulling back exactly on that dark spot. I'm rubbing that dark spot and pulling back on it. So I'm going to come back down here. If I would pull this back like I did on that cotton section, and I see where it's still stuck to this clear backing, then I can, I just lay it back down and rub that spot a little bit more, and we're all set. And this is going on really easily. I'm not having to rub too hard. And I will tell you, I've damaged my own transfer before. I've actually stepped on it and had those pieces come out. So, let's see here. Also, I don't know if you guys have used transfers. How many people have used transfers that are watching? A lot, or is everybody pretty new to the transfers? One time I accidentally folded a transfer over on itself. And that one, that's just not salvageable. But there's always ways to do repairs. Everything isn't perfect all the time. Let's see here. Trying to be a little bit careful down there just because I don't want to, I don't want to, this little wood stick, if you hit it on the paint, most of the time the paint is adhered really well. But if you hit it on the paint, sometimes you'll leave like a little red mark or something like that from the wood. And that's kind of what I'm trying to avoid. So I see a few people have used transfers. All right, so you guys know how they work then pretty well. And these layer beautifully. I did a window live not that long ago. And I ended up layering, yeah, talk about mistakes. I accidentally put the transfer in the wrong spot. So I had to do a whole lot of layering there. So, all right, so now we've got it released. And, oh, wow. This is the first time I've used the Buds and Branches. It actually feels like it has a little bit of texture. Oh, wow. Oh, that's gorgeous, too. I love this transfer. But you can see here where that section ripped out. We're going to layer over that, and we're going to do something with this leaf up here as well. That's kind of evident, but not as much. Give me just a second because I did not get my burnishing pad out here. So I've got it right over here just out of reach. Because once your transfer is on, you want to make sure that you burnish it down really, really well. I love the transfers, yes. But want to make sure you burnish it down really well and that you do not have any air bubbles, which I don't see any air bubbles, so I don't think that's going to be an issue. Oh, yeah, see that section took a little corner of the flower off, but that's okay. We can fix that too. When I fix that leaf, I will actually layer over that. So you want to make sure it's burnished down really well. And I'm using a finishing pad. There's several different methods you can do to do this though. Because transfers do not like any moisture or anything like that getting underneath them. And you do want to protect over the transfer. So you want it to be stuck down well. If it's not and moisture gets under there, I thought I might have had a bubble, but I don't. If moisture gets under there, eventually that will start to peel back. So you want to make sure you don't forget this step. So like I said, I'm using a finishing pad. Okay, so that's my keyhole. So this is the hole where the hardware is going. And for some reason I forgot that it was over there. I thought it was in the middle. So what we want to do is we're going to cut that out. And the patch that's stuck. You can't really because the sticky part is on the other side. It's like kind of reversed. So this won't, it won't stick. The sticky part is on the side that's stuck to this little paper. So we're going to cut out this keyhole, but thank you for saying that though, because I didn't even see that comment. Let me see. Let me make sure I'm not missing any questions. Let's see here. Yeah, I see a lot of people that use transfers. Perfect. I didn't see any other questions on there. But like I said, if I happen to miss anything, I'll go back. So what I did was I just went ahead and pushed in I did a slit where that was at. And normally I then try to go around the edge and just take out that section. Just kind of cut it out. And then once I've got it cut out, I want to go ahead and burnish in. At first, I'm going to go lightly because I don't want to rip anything back. But even if I did, it'd be fine because when I put the hardware on, it's going to have a section about this big that covers that. But you want to make sure that section is burnished in really well too. You just don't want any moisture underneath of it. So we've got that keyhole out. And then normally I will actually take... Oh, you guys, I'm missing everything tonight. I have a screwdriver out here. It's probably just under something. I'm going to use that paintbrush. And I just like to go and rub around like this just to make sure that everything is stuck down and that nothing can get under there. I will go in later and do my edges a little bit better around the edges once I open the cabinet. But without my screwdriver, actually I'll be able to open it up in a second. So we're going to go ahead first and let's see what we can do to fix this leaf right here. So I could go let's see. So first of all, I'm going to go ahead and cut the flower off here so you can see what I'm doing. And I'm not going to be able to get it perfect. I'm going to kind of try to go over this leaf. So what I'll probably do is I'm probably going to go over this leaf, but then I'll come back with a little paint and kind of try to make these match up a little bit more because they're slightly different. But shape-wise, I can attach it right there. I can cover this other section of the flower. Let's see. Actually, I think I'm going to run it down a little bit. Let me make sure that's going to work. Let me take a look at some other things I've got here too, just in case there's a better option. Now, actually, there is. Would that work? I think so. And I could bring that all the way up and cover up my flower. Actually, I'm not going to use that one. This one's going to look more natural if I do it this way. So you guys, I'm so sorry. I don't know. I'll try to get to the pinstripe part, but I don't know that we're going to get there. I tell you what, I'll jump on my page after this and do the pinstripe part of this. But since we have this little, I don't know, happy accident, like Bob Ross says, let's go ahead and do the fix for it so you guys can see. So, you know, another thing is too, transfers, they have all kinds of designs in them. I frequently cut mine up. And I didn't ruin anything by cutting that chunk out. Nobody knew there was a branch there to begin with. I can still use this entire section. And if I want to, I could take this other leaf and layer it right under there. I doubt I will because you don't know that this was here anyway. So I think I can position this. Well, you know what, you guys? I'm sure this transfer must have been, when it was shipped, it must have gotten in the wrong weather conditions because I can tell, trying to peel this off really, normally you just rip these apart. There is no sticking like this. Got it. All right, perfect. You can tell where it's stuck. So this is what I was talking about earlier. I'm certain this transfer must have gotten the wrong temperature somehow. So you can see how it's really clear. This transfer has actually already released from this clear part. Where it's darker, that's where it has not released. So we're going to go ahead. I am only going to get to stick this once. And we're going to go right here. Bam. So we're going to layer right over that. So that one I've got cut pretty close to the edge. I want a bigger piece this time. So I'm going to be using that same method so that I don't do anything with my paint. And we're going to go ahead and put this right over it. And I'm going to go ahead and rub this on. Most of it, like I said, has already released. So this shouldn't take very long at all. Okay, I'm going to be extra careful just because of what's going on. And go ahead, start pulling this back. Perfect. So you can see it was already released. I just, thankfully, was able to get it off that backing. And we're going to bring this right in. And by the way, I didn't necessarily have to do this. Like I said, I could have contacted Dixie Belle. But in this case, I have a workaround and I'm kind of impatient. I wanted to use this now. And the rest of these are at the store, the other buds and branches that I have. Thankfully, they didn't come in the same shipment. There we go. Perfect. So we've got it layered in. We've got that covered up. And I'm going to go ahead and burnish this down as well. Just want to make sure that I have no air bubbles, nothing like that. So when I first burnish, I actually rub lightly and then I put a little more pressure on it just to make sure that it is stuck down. All right, so now we're going to come down here and let's go ahead and find something to put in there. This transfer has some smaller sections. So I'll probably use one of those. Let's see what we've got. I think I want to stick with these. So we could do... I could do this right over it. How would that look? Let's see what all it's going to cover. You know what? I think that... Actually, I think I want to do... I want this pink flower. I mean, honestly, the easiest way to do it... let me go ahead and do it that way. Would be this. I just want that cotton. Let's see. Does that cover my... Yeah, pretty much. The reason I'm looking at this like this is I want that cotton... Let me move it up slightly. I want this cotton to go... I'm funny about directions and symmetry. I don't want this cotton to be right there on top of that one. Let's see. I think I might move it over a little bit, actually. And that's going to layer that out too much. You know what? I'm going to cut this cotton off. I don't want it. And this is what I mean when I say I'm kind of funny. I manipulate my transfers a lot. A lot of times I kind of make my own designs out of them. So I am going to just carefully cut around that leaf. There we go. Hopefully you can see here. And you know what? If I put this on and I decide I want this cotton back, then I can put it back. Perfect. So I want to put this then right here. I want this leaf kind of coming up. And then I still have got, kind of wanted that big flower showing though. There we go. I think I kind of like, or, sorry, I'm a bit indecisive. You know what? I really kind of just want this flower. I want to keep that big flower over there, and I don't care. I can keep that. I can layer something else, that other piece in. I want to cut out the pink flower. I am a little indecisive. And like I said, you just keep all your pieces, and you can do all kinds of things with those. And this won't take me too long to cut this out. Should bring us right up to the time. And then once I get off here, like I said, I'll pop over to my page and we can do these stripes with the pin stripes. And before I get off here, I'll put this on and then I will bring you guys back in so you can see what we're doing with the stripes. Hold on just a minute here. All right, so I've just cut this flower out. That's the only portion that I want to use. The little piece of green left there, I want to get rid of that. All right, and then I just want to bring this flower right in there. That's going to cover up that whole section. I'm going to go ahead and cut it across right here. So what I did was I just used my fingernail to score it, and I am going to cut at the straight line, which I'm not very good at, but it'll be fine. Let's see here. And that will perfectly cover up that section, and it'll still leave my big flower intact, which was what I wanted. So let's go ahead and peel this one off. I'm going to peel it off slowly. Perfect. And see, you can, it had to be weather related. You can see in some spots where it's already released there. So I'm going to be really careful just because I've got that edge. I'm going to go ahead and place this exactly right the first time. So I've got this side down. Now I'm going to rub it just in one direction. Again, so that I don't get any air bubbles. And then we're going to use this piece here to just rub it completely down. You guys see still? Yep, and I'm coming up on my time here, so I'm going to try to be quick. Shouldn't take me long to pull this off. And I probably will use that other scrap just to cover up that white spot too. I may not. I don't know. It doesn't look bad. I kind of like it there. Just want to make sure that's good and rubbed down. So with this flower, I don't have a lot of outside edges that still have the plastic over them. So I just kind of want to be careful when I'm pulling it back. So this one, there we go. I've got it. And we're just going to rub it as we're pulling back. Kind of coming at an awkward angle, but hopefully you guys can see and my head's not in the way. And it's releasing really nicely. Just bringing it around. I do normally like to meet in the middle with my transfer, not when I'm initially rubbing it on. I don't want any air bubbles, but just whenever I'm peeling that last little bit off. But this one is stuck really well. So you can see how nicely that layered in right over where the other one was damaged. So even if you damage your transfer, you can still use this method to correct it. Just make sure I'm not missing any questions. No, I don't see anything else on here. All right, so just want to burnish it down really well. So now I want to say this just because, so you know kind of what to do after this really quick. Then we'll jump off and I'll go on my page to do the stripes. But you do want to protect over your transfers. You want to use a water-based protectant. They do not like oil, so don't use anything like Big Mama's butter, hemp oil, anything like that. You also do not want to use gator hide. Even though it's water-based, there is something in that the materials from the gator hide that will cause potentially peeling issues. Sometimes it's fine, sometimes it's not. So you don't want to use gator hide. You can use clear coat to protect over them, and you can also use the Best Dang Wax because it is water-based. So either one of those you can protect over this fine. But you can tell, you can't even tell where that transfer was damaged. You just layer. They layer beautifully. So you guys, if you know anybody who needs to fix a transfer, please share the video. But no, anybody who can use it, please share the video. And then let me show you kind of what our next step was going to be, and then I'll jump over on my page and do it. I intended to pull the drawer out, but hopefully you can see it. So this is just, we're going to do the morning sunrise stripes, and then we're going to go over how to do the pinstripe, and that is going to be with the Diamond Moonshine Metallics. So thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight through my mishaps. It's Monday, you know, what else? But I will, like I said, go ahead and jump over and do the other part that I didn't get to on here. And thank you so much, Dixie Belle, for being on, and everybody else for watching and hanging out tonight. You guys take care. Have a good night. If you don't already follow me, there is a link in the description so that you can just tap that link and get there. It'll probably take me about a minute or two to jump over. And that'll be a quick live. This won't take very long at all. But thanks so much. Take care. Have a good night.